Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2020, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make friendship bracelets. Making friendship bracelets is just one of those activities that you can basically do anywhere, and you don't need a ton of supplies if you want to do it. All you need is a big bag of embroidery floss with like a million different colors, some tape, I use duct tape, some scissors, and a ruler. I'll also show you how to finish them if you want to make them like adjustable. And you can give them out to your friends, you can give them out to your neighbors, you can give them out to anybody. You know, they don't have to be your best friend. Could be anybody. So this is the first bracelet I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make. It's not that complicated to make, it's pretty simple, and you only need 2 different colors. Your shorter string is going to be your inside string, which in this one is the white, and then the green, which is the outside color, you'd make that string longer. Okay, to actually make this bracelet, what you're going to do is you're going to take your left string and you're going to make a 4 with it over the 2 middle white strings. Then you're going to take your right green string, you're going to place it over kind of the tail of the 4, and then it's going to go under the 2 white strings and then through kind of the loop of the 4. And you're going to pull. Now you're going to switch sides. You're going to make a 4 going this way. The string goes on top of the tail, underneath the 2 white, and then through the loop of the 4. And pull. And you just keep alternating sides until you get the length you want. Now what I like about this bracelet, other than the fact that it's fairly easy to make, is that it's pretty easy to also add beads if you want, like I did with this one. And all you do for that is you just put the bead through the middle 2 white strings and just do the same thing you were doing before with these 2. The next bracelet I'm going to teach you guys how to make is this one. It's kind of, you know, your classic friendship bracelet, the kind you see all the time. Now for this one, you can use as many or as few colors as you really want. I used 4. The more colors you use, the wider the bracelet will be. And I like the width you get with 4 different colors, and I like that, you know, you get a little bit of variety of color too there. Now for this one, I cut 4 different strands. Each one was 72 inches, and then I folded them in half and looped it at the top. Okay, to make this bracelet, you're going to start with the outside strand, which in this case is blue, and then the second strand in, which is white. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the blue strand and the white strand, and you're going to make a 4 with the blue, like this, and then you're going to go behind the white and then through the hole. And you're going to pull that. And you're going to do that again on the white. Now you're going to move in and you're going to do the same thing but with the green strand this time, the green and the blue. You make your 4, go behind the green, and then through the whole of the 4. And pull. And you're going to do that again. Now you're going to move to the pink, and you're going to do the same thing again. So now your blue strand on this side should be on the very inside. So now you're going to take the blue strand on the other side, and you're going to kind of do the same thing, but backwards this time. So this time, the 4 will be facing this way. And you're going to go behind the white and through the hole. And pull through. Then you're going to do the same thing again. Pull through. Now, just like before, you're going to move on to your green strand. Do the same thing. Now you're going to move on to the pink strand and do the same thing. Now you get to the point where your 2 blues are the 2 center. So what you're going to do, and create a 4, again, just like we've been doing. Just like that. And you go behind the other blue string, through, and pull. You're going to do that again. And that's it. You just keep repeating that and repeating that until you get to the length you want. Now this time, you would do white on each side, and then it'd be green, and then pink, and then blue again. It just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. Now this last bracelet I'm going to show you how to make is a personal favorite of mine. I've made a whole bunch of them recently and have been mailing them out to my friends. And I think it's really cute. It's a little sunflower bracelet. And I'm also going to show you how to finish it so you can make it adjustable and stuff. Now this bracelet obviously doesn't have to be a sunflower. It can be whatever kind of flower you want to make. But if you're going to make the sunflower, you're going to need yellow, brown, and green thread. Now the yellow and the green, I made them 72 inches and then fold them in half. And then the brown one, I did 48 inches. And I've made a whole bunch of these, and these lengths seem to have worked pretty well. I also, if you want to finish it like this and make it adjustable, that kind of stuff, what I do to start is I start by tying the initial knot about 3.5 inches down from the loop. Now before I start, just kind of an FYI, I did not come up with this pattern. I'm not nearly that creative, and I'll put a link in the description to the video I watched to learn how to do this bracelet. To make this bracelet, you're going to start with your 2 green threads on the outside and the other 4 just in the middle. First, you're going to take one of your outside green threads and you're going to make a 4 over top of these 4 middle. Then you're going to go behind those 4 and through the loop and pull. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make a 4, go behind all 4 and through the hole. You're going to keep alternating sides. You're going to do this a total of 6 times. So 4 around the back and through the loop. that's 3. 4. 5. 6. Now that you have those 6 done, you're gonna arrange the thread so it goes green and then brown, the 2 yellows in the middle. Now you're gonna take your green, you're gonna make a 4 like that over the brown, behind the back, and through, just like that. Just once. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Only 4 facing this way this time. Around the back, and then through. So now what you should have is your 2 browns, should be on the outside, and the greens. And then the yellow is now on the inside. You're going to take your 2 yellows now. And it's going to be just like what we did on that second bracelet, where we make our 4. Twice. Now we're going to take this yellow and we're going to go this way on the outside. So 4 like that, behind the green, through the loop, pull. We're going to do that again. Now, same thing with the brown. 4, behind the brown, through, 2 times. So now we're going to do the same thing with the other yellow string. Only we're going to be making a 4 going this way. Around back the yellow, through. 1. 2. A little trick I have to kind of remember which direction you need to make the 4 is that the point of the 4, or like right here, is going to be the opposite direction you want the string to go. So you want the string to be on the outside after these 2 knots. So the 4 will be pointing that way, like this. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, that's how I always remember. So now our 2 yellows are on the outside. What we're going to do is we're going to take our brown strings now. And we're going to do the same thing we did up here with the green, only just over the green strings with the brown. So we're going to take the brown string, we're going to put it over the two middle greens, around the back, and through, and pull. And then we're going to do on this side. Like that, around the back of the two green, and pull. And now we're going to go back in with the yellow strings. So see, now we're going back in, so the point of this yellow will be facing that way. Around the back and through. Twice. Now with our green. Around the back and through. Around the back and through. Now to the other side. Facing this way. Around the back of the brown and through. Around the back and through. Now the other green. Around the back and through. Around the back and through. Now I'm going to tie the two yellows. Same thing. This one, it doesn't really matter which way the 4 goes. Just do whatever way is most comfortable, I guess. Now finally, we're going to take our greens and we're going to move them back out to the outside, like how they were when we started. To do that, we're just going to do a single knot like we did before. 4 like that, around the back of the brown, and through. Around the back, and through. And there you go. Now you just start again with the green, and you just keep going. Once you get your bracelet to the desired length, which for me is typically about 14 little flowers, you're going to take this loop, you're going to cut it, you're going to take this side, the other side, which I've already done, and cut it so that it's the same length. And what I like to do is I like to braid them. So you take your greens, you can take your browns, take your yellows, and you braid them as you do. Until you get to the very end. Once you get to the end of the thread, you knot it and then you move on to the other side. After you have both sides braided, You're gonna take another string. It could be whatever color. I think green looks very nice with this bracelet, so that's what I do. You're gonna tape it to the table. Like this. You're going to take your string, put it under these two, and you're going to do the same knot we did in the first bracelet, which is make the 4 like that, put it over the 2, take this string, put it over the tail, then under these two and through the hole, and then pull. You don't want to pull super tight because then it's going to be more difficult for the bracelet to kind of slide between it. And then you do the same thing on the other side. I typically do about 10. I think that's good. And then after you do those 10, you tie a knot. Just go to the back. Just, like double knot it. And you cut these, and then you've got a bracelet like this. You can adjust. I hope you guys like this video, and make sure to let me know if you actually try making any of these bracelets. I mean, I've never tried to teach someone how to make a bracelet before, so I want to know if these were actually helpful. That's all I've got for you guys today, and I'll see you next time.